your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We love to help you win in any marketplace. All the goal is about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We do that by interviewing great expert contributors. We've got Shane Socash going to be on the program later on as well. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Shane Socash, owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. We're going to talk about alternative investment opportunities with him. We also have Mark Hay, 21st Century Financial Group as well. Financial markets on the conversation docket for Mark. And we've got Nick Schriver in studio as well, decorating elves here in studio. We're going to talk about the life of an LED bulb versus other types, as well as indoor-outdoor lighting with him. We got a really cool feel-good story of the day. Also, a chef serves up weekly meals to the homeless. Find out about this chef helping the homeless population, and more coming up here. Going to play a clip about artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, if you haven't heard of that. It's a rather consequential tech product that has recently come out as well. And we've got some other stories we'll jump into here as well coming up. Now, we always like to feature our real estate listings, and real excited. My wife and I, our whole team, we just joined Livian. Livian is a part of Keller Williams' organization. It's actually Gary Keller's expansion team. So it's a model that we are, I think, the number 58th in the company to convert to Livian model. Basically, in short, it's a Rolex version of Keller Williams. So we're real excited about that. All the technologies, all of the different products and services we're going to be able to bring to the marketplace and grow and expand. So we're looking at Sarasota is our next market that we are currently interviewing in right now. Actually, today we're interviewing down there. We've got a handful of agents looking to join our team down there. It's Livian Coastal Elite is our name through Livian, as well as the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Also teaching at an event, BABA is called Become a Better Agent. Excited to be teaching that on the 23rd over at GTAR right here in Tampa, 9 a.m. to 12:30. I'm going to be teaching a class called Win with Sellers. There's going to be other speakers. It's not me the entire time, but we're going to talk about strategies for real estate agents to grow their listing side business. And if you're in the real estate business, that is one of the key places you want to grow. You want to make sure you have more listings. Inventory leads to listings that you can leverage, and then you're going to grow through that whole cycle. So that's going to be on the 23rd, BABA event at GTAR. Excited about that. Now, we always like to feature our real estate listings as well. It's part of our strategy where we help sellers maximize the exposure and the profit on the sale of their real estate. So we've got a hot listing here at 907 Crenshaw Lake, brand new listing. This is from Roxanne, actually, one of our agents that just joined the team recently. She's going to be a rock star. It's awesome. This is her listing here at 907 Crenshaw Lake in Lutz. Now, this is a beautiful property. Check out the beautiful wood flooring. You've got an updated kitchen with stainless steel appliances, lighter colors, just a beautiful property. Almost 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. It's a ranch-style farmhouse. And get this, 3.16 acres. Attention buyers that are looking for land with acreage. We've got 3.16 acres here. Open floor plan, natural lighting, beautiful property here at 907 Crenshaw Lake Road in Lutz, Florida, Hillsborough County. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. Now, we also have a property at 2131 Park Street. 2131 Park Street. This is a new listing as well. Beautifully updated home right here in Tampa Bay. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. You got a bonus sunroom, oversized lot, huge garage with additional storage, quartz countertop, stainless steel appliances. 2131 Park Street North, St. Petersburg, Pinellas County. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. Yeah, I love that clip right there. Cole Swindell, all of the troops out there, Nick, and I know you have a special place in your heart and your business for all of our veterans that have served our country out there.
Absolutely. Definitely love the military families and those veterans. Salute them. Recently, a couple weeks ago, had great-grandfather who was, one of the elders in the war where it was WW2, I believe, and the story goes that he actually lied about his age up so he could get in because he was the youngest of the brothers.
Wow.
And just recently passed away. So, little shout out to him with all those clips. And, heart goes out to all of them, especially being in this community with McDill and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We offer discounts for our veterans, first responders, teachers, nurses, seniors out there, and especially, as you mentioned, the veterans out there. So we got Nick Schriver in the house. Decorating Elves is his company, and they do a great job here. Not only around the holidays, a lot of folks may know Decorating Elves around the holidays for all those special occasions, Nick, but you also do so much more year-round as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Decorating Elves is well known for the holiday lighting, the holiday decor, the Christmas, the Halloween, all that kind of stuff. And people go, hey, what do you do all year? Because they think that I just golf and fish. And as much as I love doing that, I definitely don't get enough of that in. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that can share that sentiment with me.
Yeah, me neither.
Right? But what we do is we're a lighting company through and through. We're very specific, an outdoor lighting company. And that means that we're working all year. We're going into the first quarter where we've actually had really good weather this calendar year for the most part. Normally last year was chilly this time, but we're pretty warm. And so we're going into where you're going to start getting into the spring. We're going to start doing some of those spring maintenance and spring cleanups and things like that. So a lot of people ask all these questions about LEDs and all this other stuff that goes on.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So, one of the questions you would have, or, as a kid sometimes growing up, or, a lot of families, I'm sure they're, trying to be frugal and make sure they're not wasting money. Mm-hmm. We work hard enough for our money, and Lord knows these days with inflation where it's at and the cost of goods and everything up, you hear your mom saying, turn that light off in that room, right? So if nobody's going to be in that room, it's like, turn the light off. But what if you happen to forget and the light stays on all day, and an LED versus a non-LED?
So, LEDs have been around for about, 12 to 15 years. We've really gotten real comfortable with them. They've been around a lot longer than that, actually, but they've been kind of a mainstream staple. And the technology has really ironed itself out. A lot of people are wondering, oh, well, now that some people are like, well, I got LEDs, I don't have to worry about it. And okay, that's a good attitude, and good for you. But, a lot of us others are still kind of frugal. And, you're a dad when you go around behind the rest of your family and you start turning light switches off.
Right.
So I think that's kind of ingrained. I don't know if that's like handed down as like a thing, but I know I catch myself doing it. And I have home automation, and I could just push a button on my phone, but I still find myself going around pushing all the buttons. Will you kids ever turn these lights off? And we have everything's pretty inefficient. So the question is, am I really burning a lot of money when I leave my lights on? And whether it's an indoor light or an outdoor light, that really depends on the type of lighting that you have. Now, when I grew up in the 90s, so I'm in my mid-40s now, so I don't know if I'm young or old in the spectrum. But anyway, that's where I am for those that are listening. And we had incandescent light bulbs, right? And a 100-watt light bulb is what you would screw into that center thing in the middle of your bedroom.
Yep.
Maybe you put 2 in. And things came in 40, 60, 75, and 100 watt. That was about what they came. And they were what we would call an A19. They screwed in. They were incandescent. And they used a lot of energy. And then outside we used a par, and that was kind of a triangle shape with a base, and it screwed in. And usually there was 1 or 2 of them. And then we also had metal halides, which were these they were like the size of a pin, and they kind of fit in, and you weren't supposed to touch either side, and they were even brighter. And so a lot of those lights were energy, what I call energy pigs. They were consumers. They used a lot of energy.
Right.
So that 100-watt bulb, we've actually been able to figure out, like a lighting system we installed earlier in the week for somebody outside. We were installing a 120-watt transformer, lit the entire side of a house. So for what was equivalent to that one bulb we used to screw into your bedroom, we're now illuminating the entire front. And when we're talking about illuminating, we're talking like 8, 10, 14 light fixtures at different locations, and just as bright, sometimes brighter. So the LED has dropped that energy consumption significantly. Now there's some people out there still hanging on, and we're starting to get into some things where they're slowly starting to be phased out, and a lot of this other product's starting to be phased out. So a lot of the incandescent lamps, a lot of the S8s, the T5s, the wedges, a lot of these smaller outdoor LED lamps are being phased. Over the last 10 or 15 years, there's been a lot of phasing out of a lot of the bigger high pressure sodium, the metal halide, the mercury vapor, all that got stuff phased late 2000s, early part of like 2010 through 2014. So there's been a lot of energy consumption that's gotten better in use. So are we spending a lot of money? The answer is, if we're efficient and we have the LED and we have stuff that's current, and let's say current, within the last 4 to 5 years, you've got the better technology, because the technology's really settled in the last 3 to 4 years and really consistent where we are now. You've got a product that's not using a lot of energy. Like, it's using some, as the cost of energy goes up, obviously you're spending more money, but you're not using a lot, especially compared to where we used to be. So, but one of the things we're starting to find in our houses is, as we're being more conservative in energy and lighting, because the lighting is way more efficient, we're using energy elsewhere, right? So a lot of times you don't see your bill go down, because now you got a device that gets plugged in and charged. Now you got a smart thing over here. Now you got a smart thing over there. Now you got 2 more devices or 2 more items that get plugged in and use energy. Yeah. So, as a household, you got to change it, this unit for that unit. But the lighting really makes it easier. And it's kind of cool on the new houses, new construction, they're actually starting to realize that some of the size panels and some of these other things that they used to be putting in, 2000, where they're like, oh, now we're going 400 amps. Now we're going 600 amps. Now they're going, oh, now we only need 2. Now we could actually get away with 150. So they're starting to size things down a little bit, because things are becoming a lot more energy efficient. So that's a pretty cool thing. One of the things a lot of people ask, and there's a big misnomer that we're always trying to overcome, and we may do this in the second segment because it's a little bit windy, is what's the difference between the interior rating and the exterior rating? And then, it says this on the box, like it should be lasting this long, but it doesn't seem to be lasting that long, and that's why, Right. And so we can dive into that. And so with the light, what they call lamp life, right? So lamp life is like, a lot of times on these LEDs, you're getting 50,000 hours. Okay. 40 to 50,000 hours is what you're getting. And so that's a lot like your tires, right? So you go to the tire store and you buy tires, and sometimes you're getting 40,000 mile tires. Sometimes you're getting 80,000 mile tires. Well, they don't guarantee that you're going to get 80,000 on the 80, because if you drive like a race car driver in the Florida sun, you're going to be peeling tread off that tire quickly. Yeah. But if you're slow and you're in cold weather, that tread's going to last a really long time. Right. And so the analogy there is it's very similar to these LED lamp life, and especially when they're in the outdoor setting. If they're in an outdoor setting where it's humid, where it's damp, it's hot, right? And there's a lot of static electricity in the air, which is basically where we live, June, July, August, September. You can even add May and April and October to that. You're going to exponentially reduce the life of that LED lamp very quickly. So, where that rating is like 50, 60 sometimes. 50 is like kind of the middle road for the industry for an LED lamp that goes into a fixture. We start cutting that exponentially by just the environment that's around. And electricity likes the cold weather. It just performs a little bit better. As it gets hotter, it draws more energy. It becomes a little less stable. As we add moisture to it, that's like adding boost to our uncle, right? He gets a little out of control. Electricity gets a little more lively, a little more out of control, a little more when you start adding heat and moisture. So, that's something that a lot of people, listen, if they're not in this industry, I don't expect them to understand it. Right. And this is why you have shows like you have, is so professionals like myself can come in here and explain some of these technical things to the general public, to your listeners, to those that are out there that want to be informed on things, right, and learn these topics. So, we're out here trying to share this information, help educate people, help kind of bring them up to speed on things that they don't know, and let them know that we are the professional, we are here to help, and that we do know what we're talking about, and we do know these systems inside and out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Nick Schriver here. Decorating Elves is the company, decoratingelves.com. And thanks for sharing that. That's a good insight into the differences there and what the actual uses would be. Let's talk a little bit about the product itself, the beautification. I love how you can add value to a property. The property is going to look great. The property is going to appreciate the usability, the safe passage, all those different aspects as well. Yeah,
absolutely. So when you're doing outdoor lighting on a residential home or on any property, you're going to get some value. You're going to get beautification. Like That is something we're always trying to achieve, is making sure that what we're doing looks good. Right? And so then you're also going to get safe passage. That means the ability to use the property. You're going to get safety and security, which means that you feel safe inside the property as well as outside the property. Okay, you're going to get value. You know, right now, you're going to be able to get all the money you spend back, typically in increased value on your property.
Yeah.
As well as the value that you get to use your property more.
Right.
You get all that internal value in the use of money. Where, you know, other things that you can spend money on, a lot of times you're spending it and it's gone.
Right.
Right. So there's a lot of value that gets picked up in that case. So, and then obviously there's the usability, right? And so that's increasing your nighttime usability, increasing the ability there. And so there's a lot of values and a lot of things that go from that. So we just had a customer the other day, you know, we fired everything up and they roll around the corner coming home and they were just stunned. They were like, I don't know who let me live in this house. But I'm thrilled. And we were like, well, you've been living here like 4 years. And they're like, yeah, but it looks brand new. It looks like an entirely new house, entirely new experience. They're like, you know, I don't know why I did not do this before. We get that a lot.
It gets, you know, you turn around and it's like, wow, this is a beautiful, you know, it's lighting up the oak trees. It just has that ambiance to it. And then, you know, if you've got flags, you know, maybe the American flag is lit up and an Old Glory's waving in the,
absolutely.
in the lighting there. I absolutely love that.
There's a lot of good ways to do that. And the flag is something that we definitely hone in on.
Yeah.
That's something we usually dial in a little bit of, lighting those straight up, you know, like especially if it's the American flag, which is important.
How do you want folks to find you, Nick?
So www.decoratingelves.com is the best way to find us. You can also find us at 1-800-MY-LIGHTS, MYLITES, My Lights, 1-800-MY-LIGHTS, and www.decoratingelves.com.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thanks so much, Nick. Appreciate you coming in and sharing those insights with everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brandon.
My pleasure. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got Mark Hay, financial advisor, expert contributor on the show, 21st Century Financial Group. We're going to talk about the markets, what's going on, how AI might affect that, as well as some other topics here in the media. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.